Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Married at First Sight Australia, Season 9, Episode 37. Now, Chris, I don't know, do they call this a commitment ceremony or the wrap-up ceremony or whatever it is? But we finally got there. We finally got to put a full stop on the greatest TV series, the reality TV series at least, that has ever been, I think.
I agree.
Where do you want to start?
I endorse that completely. Absolute thoroughbred of a series, and everything else that we're trying to watch just pales into fucking insignificance. I'm just sort of like, it's not maths. It's not, yeah. So I'm with you. So what I thought we do, Dave, we'll just go through the episode as it happened, like the couple by couple. So we start with Mitch and Ella, and they get them on the chair together. Mitch has lost the beard now. He's sat there, obviously. This was a few weeks after we had the final commitment. So I think this is just classed as the reunion properly, this. The judges are there, obviously. The experts, John, Mel, and Alessandra. And yeah, they basically, Mitch is cooing over Ella, completely 180. I really missed her. I know I didn't commit to at the end of the episode, but we're a couple. And, he was all for it. He's like, yeah, I'm in there. And Ella was the one who was a little bit hesitant. Not too much. We said, like, well, do you love him? And she's like, yeah, I think we'll get there. We spend so much time together and I miss him and everything. So that seemed to end really well, Dave. I was quite surprised with that because I thought Mitch was going to do some ridiculous thing with all this.
Yeah, and we'll get to the where are they now after we've gone through the episode. All I can say about this, actually, before I say that, I was listening to the last episode. I can't remember. You said something, and I completely missed it when we were talking, but I was listening back, and you said, talking about Mitch, you said something like, let's go outside, or something like that. I was like, fucking hell. How did I miss that George Michael reference?
Well, that was with a thing you want to said about Daniel. I was listening to it the other day as well.
Yeah, that was the one. Let's go outside.
Being the narcissist. Yeah. It's a good tune, that, Dave. But anyway, sorry, I cut you off there. Sorry.
Yeah, what I'm left with is a feeling of that was a well-rehearsed performance. And he, in the experiment, you can imagine it is a real pressure cooker. You're in there for like 2 months and we only get to see the edited bits. They're filming for much longer than we actually see, and I can imagine it is hard bloody work. And the problem is with that, the mask starts to drop. So, Mitch at the start seemed like a really nice guy, and we thought the lust would carry them quite far in the first place. But once all that's, calmed down a bit, where would they end up? And I just felt that, throughout the experiment, or the middle part, if you like, he just got really quite nasty. And I think that's where his mask slipped. But then I think the mask was back on for this last, couple of episodes. I think his energy was back. I think he's just thinking, right, just got literally 48 hours to make it through this and then leave Australia with a good impression of me.
Yeah, I think so, Dave, because there was the stuff with Tamara, and I know we'll get to that pretty soon. But at this point, I was buying into it. So I tell you what, right now, we've got a load. This was a brilliant episode, an absolutely cracking episode. Again, top tier, this show. I cannot fault it, Dave, for just ridiculous drama. The baddies, the goodies. We've got to have people like Olivia, Tamara, because the show would be shit. Even Bryce last series, an absolute wanker. But if that bell end wasn't in there, what the hell would we be doing now? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we would just be nothing, the show, and that's exactly what we need. So fair play to the producers. We always give the producers of the shows like The Bachelor, Love Island, everything, a proper hard going. But these Aussie ones are on fire, and I cannot wait to see what the UK one does, Dave, because that's going to be on pretty soon. So that'll be interesting. But I was fuming at the next couple, Dave. Selena and Cody, he'd actually had a shave. he's always got that. And Sam would point out, she says, why the fuck, even when times of despair, has he got this fucking look on his face of
shit-eating grin?
Yes, I was going to let you say it. I was going to tee you up then, but exactly that. He's got a proper, I don't know if it's a nervous energy or he just doesn't know how to react in these situations, but what an absolute bellend. And when they were showing that VT of him, and poor Selena sat there and she's laid it on the line. She's been honest. He's fucked her around. And then at the end of it, we get the knockout blow sort of thing of, oh, we've split up. And I'm like, you fucking bellend. And whose decision was it? Cody's. And I think it was Mel. Mel laid into him and went, that's not good enough. We want answers. She wants answers. Total respect, Dave. But what did you think of that? Because I thought he was a fucking cock, to be honest.
Just in terms of the boys, he's the biggest bell end of the lot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just an absolute idiot. And I agree. The whole like shit-eating grin, the laugh at inappropriate times, it's just fucking weird. And again, you couldn't hold on for literally a few more hours. So it transpires that they broke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, probably after a long session of filming, so you're probably low on energy, and he's just decided to call it there. And I can't think that he's that stupid, although he does strike me as really immature for his age. I've said it before that, I think he needs to wake up and realize he's not in his 20s anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's gone in there. I don't know if he's kind of thought that, like, because obviously they only see the show when we see the show. So they're just filming all this content, and they don't know how they're going to come across necessarily. So the only theory I've got, Chris, is that he's thinking, you know what, I'm going to tell Australia that I'm single and my DMs are going to be fucking rammed. I'm going to have women throwing themselves at me because I've just, it hasn't worked, but I'm going to come across ace. Whereas he actually comes across like just a massive fucking dick. And I can't imagine, well, there's probably always someone out there, but, I can't imagine there's that many people like in a rush, waiting in the queue to get a piece of Cody. I just thought he come off horribly. And, I thought Selena really felt for her. I thought she did really well to keep it together. Because again, if they've done this, they've been drinking at the dinner party all night. It broke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They all looked a little bit worse for wear in the recording, for the final bit on the sofa or whatever. And so, yeah, I thought Selena did really well.
Yeah, I agree. Lovely, lovely girl, Dave. And she got the support of the group when they sat down. I love the fact that Dom was like, what the fuck? And she sat right next to Cody, just going, well, I wasn't expecting that. It was just nonsense. And it wasn't unexpected, really, because the more this went on, I'm thinking, you're just here for the TV show. You're just here for the exposure. I'm quick to call people out on that. And I didn't really see it with Cody. But by the end of this episode, I was like, you know what? You're as bad as anybody we've watched on these shows. You were just there for your profile. And what a terrible, terrible way to like elevate yourself to just a shithouse, basically, Dave. So I don't think he's going to get much at the end of it. What a knobhead. But yeah, I agree.
Probably not quite as bad as Bryce, or he's not as bad as Bryce. But again, I think it was probably a surprise to Bryce that, he came across badly and people didn't like him. I think Bryce last year, would have thought, oh yeah, I'll be cleaning up after I'll have so many radio presenter gigs thrown at me once I've done this series. Sometimes it doesn't work out quite like you'd hoped.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So the next couple, Dave, had Brent and Tamara, and I think it was Alessandra, some of them said, so how much have you seen each other or whatever? And he just went, not at all. Nada, nothing at all. And it was the VT they showed of like Tamara. I mean, Brent said, didn't you, like, my wife's a psychopath, and a couple of people were laughing. God, give credit again, Dave, to Selin. Selin does not like Tamara, and I don't know whether it's... I mean, Selin was no saint the way she treated Anthony, but I was all for Selin going at her because it showed everything. And when Brent did the whole good riddance thing. That was not how she described it to the girls, Dave. She said it to Sam and Olivia, didn't she? Like, it was never going to be shown. And she's like, oh, yeah, he was fucking doing it. But when you watched it, it was classic TV. And I love it when they show the other couples on the fucking chairs just like, he proper got her. When Selling went at her, I was like, go on, get her. And even then when she stormed off this thing with Mitch about, like, Mitch rang me and he's like, I rang everyone. I still was thinking, fuck off, Mitch. I think she was telling a bit of truth there, Dave, I must admit. But she went off, and when Sam followed her like the lapdog that she is, and she went, what's wrong with me? I don't want to be with somebody who works in fucking retail off camera. And I'm like, oh, you do not get it at all.
But the thing is, he doesn't work in retail either. You know what this reminded me of? Like years ago, really abstract reference this, which probably you might be the only person listening. No one out there will probably get this. But there used to be a footballer, right, called Carlton Palmer. Not that extravagant a name, really, Chris. Carlton Palmer. That is it. And fucking Jack Charlton was on the commentary. And every time he tried to say this guy's name, got it completely fucking wrong, but in different and new ways every time. He was like, oh, yeah, there's Charlton Palmfield. He's getting hold of the ball. And it's like, what the fuck? It's not that fucking hard. And it's like Tamara. She just can't fucking get what Brent's job is. She's like, oh, he waits tables, or he serves drinks, he works in a nightclub, he works in fucking retail. It's like literally everything that he doesn't do. He's a fucking events manager, or venue manager rather. And she doesn't care enough to fucking even have it resonate. So every time someone says it, she just doesn't care. That's why it doesn't sink in there. But I pissed myself when she said about the retail. It's like, fucking hell, he works in Top Man now.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And you know what, Dave? I have an utmost respect for people who can retail, because people are fucking James Blunts. That's our new word now. I'm not saying it properly. Because people are horrible to people who can retail. I've never been horrible to people. I look back on myself, and don't get me wrong, I've got in and took stuff back and complained and tried it on and that, but I've never been rude. But I don't do it now. I'm appreciative of people who can retail, because just horrid people really are disgraced. They can speak to you like shit. So even if he did, she should have a bit of respect for him and go, you know what? Fair fucking play to him. He's a good guy. He deals it. She's just horrible. She's fucking horrible. And I was so glad to see that there was nothing there between them, because Brent's too nice of a guy for me.
Yeah, she came off horribly. And you could see when they replayed that back, it's like I say, they don't see this shit before that final, casting couch session, or whatever you want to call it. So she must have thought at that moment, fuck. This is what Australia is going to be, and the rest of the world is going to be looking at, and I come off really badly when I look back at it. Again, I just don't think the way people think that they come across is the way that they actually come across. I think she just thinks all of that's fine. Like you say, she describes it in a completely different way when Brent tells a good riddance and what have you. I'm sure we'll get onto Olivia and her storytelling after as well. And I think that all built up. So she was clearly made to look a liar. And then when it starts about Mitch drunk dialing her, later on, and Mitch calls her out basically as being a fucking liar again, I think that was the point where she was just like, right, I've had enough, and, decides to walk off. And then one of the wicked witches, Sam, follows her off as well. So, and of course she backs her up. It's like, no one has to tell you what you want. It's like, no. Technically, Sam is right, but at least learn the guy's fucking job. But she just came off badly there. definitely.
Badly. And the next couple didn't get a lot of airtime. It was more about, it was Al and Sam. We got really nothing about them as a couple. We just got a VT of Al being the life and party of the group, and he got a standing ovation off everyone. It was fucking good. Really, really good, that. Because he's a good guy at the end of the day. You know, like you've said a couple of times, and you're right, like he has no idea how to be in a relationship or anything, but he's the guy you want. If you're all going out on the piss, he's the one who's going to keep everyone entertained all night. And he just come across as a lovely lad at the end of it for me.
Yeah. Someone who brings energy up, you know, in a group. So he comes in and, you know, the energy's up. Someone like Sam brings the energy down. So, you know, in hindsight, I was seeing it as a maturity thing. But again, I don't know who would be the right person for Sam. I just think she plummeted in my estimation, to be honest, in the last few weeks of this experiment.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I'm with you. And here we go, Dave. So it all starts going downhill fast now. So the next couple are Carolina and Dion stroke Daniel. So they get Dion and ask Carolina to come up, and she says no. And you can see Daniel going, no. And I'm just thinking, you horrible couple, just a pair of cocks. And what's weird, I will say that at this point in this show, why are they on here? I don't know, because they are not playing the game. They're not playing the reality TV game. They're playing we're a couple. I don't care how we've got here, but we're a couple. None of you, and Daniel even says it like, none of you are even a couple. But what a horrible fucking pair they are together. And Carolina, Dave, I don't like body shaming anybody because I have my own struggles or anything, but there's going to be a but. Who the fuck is putting them fucking slugs on her eyebrows, Dave? Them eyebrows are the worst eyebrows I've ever seen. That's all I see when she talks. They are just ridiculous. And she has got such a high opinion of herself. Dion's there. John laid into her and said, are you going to apologize? And she was like, no. And then she tries to, and then she went the other way. And it was just like, you pair of wankers. And Daniel's like, I'm not apologizing. Don't see why we should. You know, true love wins at all. And it's just like, you don't get it, dear. And John proper laid into it. In the end, he just gave up.
Yeah. It was weird, that, wasn't it? Because the only reason for them to be there is to try and continue this social media or, you know, this reality TV star career that they've got now. You know, they could appear on something else. They could, you know, like David Brent, appear on the nightclub scene and stuff like that. So they're obviously going to try to work that a bit. So why not, even for, you know, a day, not come across like a total utter pair of pricks? You know, sorry, you know, a genuine fucking authentic sorry, I think for those two would have made a massive difference for their future career.
Yeah,
because it's not that fucking hard. But, you know, the pair of them are just so up their own fucking arses. And I was glad, I was really happy when John laid into them. You know, even though it's like, look, guys, they did a better job matchmaking than you, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, and you've invited them back, so, you know, they can't be that bad. You know, you're a producer of the show. So I don't know, I just found it a bit weird. But what I can't stand is that disdain that Carolina has on her face. You know, when someone's talking and she doesn't like what they're saying. It's just such an angry, bitter, nasty face that she's got. And Daniel, he just showed himself to be an utter prick as well, to be honest. Just, like I say, look, I'm sorry the way it happened. That's it. There is no but. That's all of it. You know, but they're so desperate to show to everyone, look, we are a couple. You know, we're a success story coming out of maths, I think, is what is in. They probably discussed it. You know, that's the takeaway message that they want everyone to go away with. But it just came off horribly, and that they weren't actually interested in, you know, at least showing themselves to be sorry. They just showed themselves to be completely selfish.
Yeah, and you're right. And I think when they showed the VT after all this sort of backwards and forwards with Dion, and that Dion got some cracking jokes in, like, I hope that even they're happy, even if it's not with each other. He's getting a few little snipey digs in. But when they showed the VT of him, Daniel was so smug about, like, when he picks her up and grabs her ass, when they're snogging on the stairwell. It was almost as if to say, I've got one over on you. And I think with Daniel, the problem is Carolina's told him a pack of lies about Dion to justify her cheating, then being together. He's probably, she probably sees him, or he sees it as he's the knight in shining armor who's rescued her from this guy, like this. She probably said she was fucking, totally against her will, didn't want to be with him and all this. Like, it was the producers have led me into this, and he was a horrible man. I'm guessing all this, but the way he is defending at every turn, everything that Dion says, he has the same nastiness and sort of just overall hatred towards him. And they don't get that. If you're in the wrong on something, Dave, you've got to take a step back and say, look, I'm in the wrong. That's it. But you're not. He's just gone with her. He's believed everything she said, hasn't he? He even tried to defend her.
I don't know why. I don't think she has to say anything about Dion. Daniel was just acting like a dog with two dicks when Carolina was around. She didn't have to say to him, oh, he's this really nasty man. She had no attraction. Now, to be fair to him, or well, Carolina at least, she didn't ever pretend that she liked Dion. She never, played it up a bit. We've seen people in the experiment before where, they'll stay in that Cam. Do you remember him from last season where he's like, oh yeah, let's give it a go, when actually he just wants to stay in there for a bit longer so he can have a go at Coco? So Carolina didn't do that. What I think was really distasteful is that you could see some of the gaslighting that was going on. Carolina's saying all these negative things about Dion. He doesn't like breakfast. He doesn't go for a run, and this, that, and the other. On the couples retreat, she's having a go at him, and making him feel like he's the problem. I think that's the big issue about it. But all the stuff that we saw when she was speaking to Daniel, she was just kind of repeating the same things, like that he doesn't like breakfast and all these stupid, shitty, superficial things. And the fact is, Daniel just fucking fancied the pants off her, so didn't give a fuck really what a relationship with Dion was like.
I know, it's right. I just think it's just bitter, innit? And at the end of the day, they're the happier ones, Dave. The way they're acting, you'd think it was Dion who's going off into the sunset in a loving relationship, but it's not, and it's them. It's just weird. But anyway, Dave, Olivia and Jackson. So we get them next. And we get them come up and she's talking. Dom rolls her eyes and she's like, yeah, we're together. We've moved in together this week and blah, blah, blah. They're all loved up. And then it just, then it goes on. Fucking video of Olivia. It shows them together and we get all that and everything. And it's sort of, there's a few bits about Olivia, but nothing too much. And purposely, Dave, at the end of it, we get, right, guys, we're going to move to, we've had a bit of conflict this series and these two people have not liked each other, and I'm rolling my sleeves up, making sure my phone's ready and fucking notes. And it was just Olivia and Dom. And I'm like, this better be it. This better be them finally laying it out. And it was fucking glorious and selling Holly all laid into Olivia. And Olivia was a quivering wreck. And when the fake tears come, Sam's like, here we go. Fake fucking tears. Yeah. Oh, Dave. It was the best part of the fucking show for me. It was absolutely glorious to see her get her comeuppance.
See, did you really think she got a comeuppance? Because I don't think she really did. The way John went after Daniel and Carolina, I thought he really went after them. Whereas I think they just showed the video and then pretty much let everyone else just say their piece. I mean, even Dominica was saying, I don't need to say anymore. The video says it all. That she's saying about this, fashioning a weapon out of a glass and whatever, and standing over her and waving it in front of her, making it sound like it was so much worse than it was. But the thing is, Chris, Tamara and Sam never fucking say anything when it is blatant that she's lying. It's only Ella who says like, no, that's not what happened, but no one listens to her. So the good thing, to be honest, with Selin being back in there and Holly also, is it balances out the mean girls. Because when you've had the mean girls, everyone, the majority goes with just the, oh yeah, Olivia, Dom's terrible, isn't she? Whereas at least Selin, I don't know what a game was. I mean, Tamara was saying like, you weren't there. It's like, we've just fucking watched it on the telly. We don't need to be there. Just fucking saw it.
Yeah, I did like Holly though, Dave. I did. What I think is though, and it's a different perspective. I think I see it from is like you say, the judges should have put Olivia to task a long time ago for the bullying and that, and they didn't. They simply didn't. And we both said that. Like, why are they not saying anything? It's fucking bizarre. I don't know. I'm with you on that. The judges should have said something, and they didn't. But I did like the way that everyone was like, oh shit, Dom was actually right here. And there's some people with egg on the face who are taking a long, hard look at themselves thinking, oh, I've backed the wrong horse here completely. Like I said a good few episodes ago about Dom. She's got too much to say, far too much to say, and got involved in far too many people's, relationships and stuff. I found it pissed me off. But then as soon as Olivia went full on nasty and was just blatantly lying, and then just went about episode 15 onwards or whatever it was with Olivia.
Fucking psycho.
She just went ridiculous. So there was no way I couldn't back Dom them. I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. But they still there. Dom has got too much to say about other people's relationships when her own relationships fucking fell to pieces. There's something there with Jack, but I don't know what. You know what I mean? Like
but she rarely called anything out that shouldn't have been called out, did she?
No.
Like when Carolina was treating Dion like shit, she was having a go. I think that was when you said about Dom pissing you off. And I think that, weirdly, Olivia, that's what she took exception to as well. Dom having a go at Carolina. I do think she speaks her mind. I don't think it's too much.
Dave, I'm going to disagree with you. Okay, for once, I'm going to disagree.
No, well, not once, many more probably.
All the time, but no. I just think that Dom was too bothered about everyone else's relationships at that point. But then, as soon as Olivia went full on Billy bullshit, and I think you're right, she just called out what she saw. I'm not saying she wasn't right, but she seemed to be the one every episode. There was this moral judgment on everybody. But as soon as Olivia went, I was backing Dom 100%. 100%. It didn't matter what happened. And I felt like Dom, she lost a bit of a spark after that, Dave. She genuinely didn't get involved in stuff. There's plenty of times when Olivia was being an absolute bitch and she just sat there like dumbstruck, like, what the hell do we do? This girl is not, she's not for changing, no matter how in the wrong Olivia is. She just stuck to the story.
Well, yeah. So you could see what a negative impact it had on Dom. I do think she intentionally she avoided the alcohol, didn't she? And like the dinner parties and stuff. She was trying to rein it in. But for me, there is a massive difference when someone just calls out the bullshit. Whereas what both Olivia in particular and Carolina do, and to a lesser extent, Tamara and Sam do it as well, is they're trying to make comments to bring people down. That is a massive difference for me. I don't recall Dom doing that to snipe a comment to just bring someone down. It's more like, that's bullshit. How can you do that? That is utter bullshit. You can't treat someone like that. That's bullying.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
That's why I think it's different. But like I say, we're getting to see, in a condensed format. Who knows? If you think Dom is too much and you're watching an edited show, imagine putting up with that for 5 hours of filming.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it? That is a lot. Yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe if you feel like that way, you'd side more with Olivia.
Fuck you, Dave. Right? I won't be waving a glass around willy-nilly, David.
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. But anyway, so Dave, what do you think? If you had to score this whole series, what would you score it?
Oh, always got to leave some wiggle room for something better, but I think I'd have it 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, you absolute bar steward.
Is that what you're going to
Yeah.
go with? I think this edges out last year. We absolutely loved last year's maths, didn't we? I'd probably have that one as a 9 in retrospect now, and then this one as a 9.5. It was just absolutely brilliant. And again, you know, when it starts off and they have the weddings and everything, it's like, I don't know the people, I don't know the names, I don't care about these people. But then by the time you get into, like, say, week 3, and you've got a couple of dinner parties out the way, it's like, oh God, this is good. And this season just got better and better. And for how much, you know, we've said, you know, for the horrible people that we've got on this series, they kind of make the show as well.
Yes, 100%. I'm with you. It does. It absolutely just makes maths what it is. I'm the same, 9.5. There's no reason for me not to put it at 10, but it's just like you say, could something top this? It's going to have to be a hell of a show, Dave. A hell of a show to top this. But I'm with you, completely with you, mate. Absolutely. Brilliant. Now, Dave, we have the Chris Phelps Where Are They Now update on the couples. So are you ready for this one, Dave?
I think so.
That was a yay. But anyway, so we'll start with the most controversial character on the show, Olivia and Jackson, Dave. Now, do you think they're still together?
Yes.
Correct, Dave. They are in together. He has actually moved over to where she lives in called Afaco, in where Olivia is. So he's moved over to Sydney, but there's like a beachside town she's in.
Right.
Both together, both cooing each other. He's even said he's allowed to go to the gym, Dave. She's his soulmate. I love the fact, and this is a quote, she's honest and will say exactly what she's thinking. And he just totally loves it. His publicist said, what a load of shit. So anyway.
He's going to get tired of that at some point. So, you know, did you notice she was saying about the babies as well?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All sorts, Dave. And it's still not said he loved her. Exactly. Still not said he loved her. So he must have by now, for God's sake. He's moving in together. But anyway, next one, Dave. Ella and Mitch.
No, but cheating a bit because I know.
Yeah, I know you know that one. So they aren't together. Ella's not seen Mitch since the end of the show. And Dave, and I know you know this, but people listening might not know this, the rumours with Tamara were not completely innocent, shall we say, because they did say they have the same circle of friends and they have been seen on numerous occasions together, but they haven't confirmed, what's going on. So, yeah, they definitely have been seen out. There's plenty of paparazzi pictures, but Mitch and Ella as a couple have gone, Dave. So, and the thing is, he was standing his ground there, wasn't he? We were all in with Mitch because the way Tamara was, but she may have had a bit of truth in that. And the fact that if she is seeing him, what the hell is she doing?
So that is weird, isn't it? Especially how much he called her out. Yeah. You know, on the couch when she said, "Oh, you drunk dialed me," and like said, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing," and he said, "Oh, that's bullshit." And it's like, well, in hindsight, it doesn't appear to be bullshit. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw the Dom had a viewing party at her place on Monday, and they all had their T-shirts on. My body, was it my body, my decision, bitch, or something like that. But when that bit comes up where Tamara's saying that stuff, Ella shouts out something like, "'Cause you were fucking," or something like that. So I think that there are some further fringe rumors that actually there might have been a thing even before the show. And Ella did say that Mitch was scouted for this show. So he didn't apply, he was scouted through his agency.
Right. Right.
So
okay.
If you're looking for a classic, there for the fame, for the exposure, I think Mitch is absolutely probably Mitch and Cody probably Mitch a little bit more. They're the examples that you're going for. And so in hindsight, I mean, it does just look like he was there for his exposure. The mask slipped about halfway through the season and he couldn't hack it. Yeah, what a tosser.
Very true. Now, we've already talked about Tamara, but Tamara and Brent are not together. I'm not even going to insult you by asking you that one, Dave. But there is rumours of Brent and Ella now, Dave. And it's quite strong rumours, and they've been seen getting a bit cozy, and they do look good together. I've seen them talking on one of the videos on YouTube I watched before this, so could be a bit of truth in that.
I mean, they just seem like nice people, don't they? You know, and if you look how they were treated by their partners. Now, to be fair, we felt a little bit of, I was going to say sorriness. We felt a bit sorry for Dan, didn't we? Or Daniel.
Yeah.
The way he'd been treated. So it's not necessarily that, you know, if you're treated badly, you're a nice person. But these two do genuinely come across like they're quite nice, and they were, you know, trying with their respective partners, or more than their partners were trying with them. And so, fingers crossed. I think that one could work. Yeah,
we'll see, Dave. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on that one because I do like him as well. I agree. Next couple's Dominica and Jack. No. They're not together, but you did send me the article about that party. They're still seeing each other. They're not putting a label on it.
It's not the best guessing game when I'm just sending you the articles, is it?
Well, yeah, you sent me this one, but anyway.
Great research.
Not the point, Dave. That's not the
10
point.
10 out of 10. Fucking amazing.
Dave, you're on the money here. It's unbelievable. But no, they are still sort of seeing each other and being together. And she was at this party, which was basically, like you say, this thing about no Olivia's or something. They had a shirt on with Olivia's face. But I think that, and I read the article, was a bit naughty because there's a bit of a backlash, isn't there, about that, saying like the whole thing. I didn't think it was that bad, really. But
no, I think the article said people are turning on Dom because it said something like, my body, my decision, bitch. You know, so in a direct backlash to Olivia and what, you know, a whole toxic fucking approach. And not just Olivia, but also Sam, and Tamara in particular was quite judgy, wasn't she? She was like, well, if you're going to put your body out there on the internet, you know, you don't know what's going to happen to it. Now, the article said that there was a backlash from fans, whereas when I looked at Twitter, no, there wasn't. You know, there was the odd comment, obviously siding with Olivia's side of things, but I don't think she's lost anything. You know, she's just, at the end of the day, she was trying to be slut shamed and she's just fucking owning it. So I think whoever written the article was full of shit. Yeah,
that's good. Good point, Dave. Good point. But like you say, this is the shittiest game ever. When boy, mate, carry on, Dave. Dion,
Cody and Selena. How are they doing? Yeah, pretty sure they're not together. No, sorry, which one? Carolina and Dion. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, definitely
you're
not.
Right. Yeah, they're not. No, they're not. But Carolina and Daniel.
Yes.
Correct, Dave. And they're still saying that. Shut up, Dave. Man. They're still saying that Daniel's stance is still this, that we are a couple and we're not on some fake TV show, and that's their stance. We don't feel any guilt towards anybody that we hurt on the show because they're not real and we are, which is what he said, like we're together and you guys aren't, sort of thing. So I think he didn't read the fucking small print about you still need to act up to the cameras and stuff for the reality show. I think it went past all that.
He's not wrong factually with what he's saying, is he? But it's just like, you don't have to be a bellend about it. That's where he doesn't quite get it. So, yeah, if they stay together, couldn't care less.
No, that's fair enough. Now, I'll race through these next couple. Sam and Al, not together. We knew that anyway, but they are good friends still. They've remained friends. Al has been doing some Red Cross sort of, a bit like a Children in Need thing, raising money with Jack. So about 5 million. They were doing the phone. So any exposure, very Joey from Friends, Dave, when he did that live phone in for charity. Now, one of the couples who left pretty early, actually, Selena and Anthony, not together at all, but Anthony is with someone and he is really in love. A friend or something reached out and there's a couple now, Dave, and he said it's, and I quote, it's really fiery, Dave, and we have a lot of passion. So, so they're not together. The next one, Holly and Andrew. Now, you sent me, I'm going to let you read you read this one. You sent me an article about Andrew, but Holly is actually with someone, Dave, and she's been really loved up as well, which is nice. But what did you find about Andrew then, Dave?
Well, it seems like, again, we said about Tamara, that actually watching those clips back, the VTs, that's the first time she realizes, oh, I might come across quite badly here. If that's what they're going to show, of me, then people aren't going to like me very much. It sounds like Anthony or Andrew, which one was it? Ginger Bollocks.
Andrew. Andrew.
It seems like he doesn't want anything to do with the show. Of course, he didn't turn up for the boys' night or any of the reunion episodes, and sounds like he's been kind of in and out of therapy. He's had a bit of a breakdown and just doesn't want anything to do with the show and really regrets it. And again, it's like, well, maybe if you'd have listened to someone and realised what an utter bellend you are, and that you wouldn't actually come across very well on TV, maybe you'd have taken some advice not to go on it. But I've got no sympathy whatsoever, to be honest, Chris. I just think he is an idiot, and he just didn't realise how he comes across.
Yeah. I'm with you, Dave. There's no excuse for that. And he might reflect on it because he's a fucking motivational speaker. Who the hell is going to want to book him now? It's just ridiculous. David Brent levels of fucking fee going down there. You know what I mean? Fucking bollocks. Yeah. Absolute bollocks. But then the last couple, Dave, is Matt and Kate. Now, they're not together. We know that. I'm not going to say, what do you think, Dave? I won't do that to you. But Kate is with someone, Dave, and apparently she's been having loads of sex. Don't know whether it's with the partner or herself. I don't know, but she's having loads of sex, Dave. So maybe that chewing a wasp's face that she had pulled for the whole show, maybe we'll turn that frown upside down, my friend.
Cheers, Smashy. Well, hopefully she at least cracks the smile. So, yeah. Another one didn't come across very well, but for different reasons, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dave, we are at the end of the journey for maths. Absolute class, mate. If you want to support us, guys, get up to Patreon, patreon.com/CDRealitycast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And if you do want to follow us on social media, @CDRealitycast. So, today's roll call of honor is Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Noreen, Zoe, Joanna, Helen, Katie, Dee, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafson. Now, Dave, we did actually have an email the other day, and I didn't read it out, so I'm just going to have a quick squiz on this one, and it's from our friend Karen. So she is a few episodes behind, so praise to God she's just listening to us as we go on, and she'll catch us at the end. But she's put, hello, guys, long time no speak. I don't watch the other shows that you cover, and I've been a late arrival to this season's maths. I'm listening to episodes 16 to 20 and agree with what you're saying. I think Kate is one ugly person who will be alone forever. Although I think Olivia perhaps beats her, she called out others for the eye rolling and pulling faces, yet does it all the time. Don't know how Glassgate will be resolved. Well, you're in for a ride. But oh my God, she's milking it. I hope Jackson sees her for who she is. Got to rush to work, but can't wait for the next episode, Karen. So thank you, Karen. And great to have an email on maths as well. I'm glad that you're tuning in. So good stuff, Dave.
No, that's awesome. And afraid it doesn't get any better. I mean, Glassgate, Christ, it makes an appearance for every episode almost, doesn't it? Right up until the end, it never ever went away.
Never. Well, there you go.
It probably won't. Fucking wherever Olivia is now, probably going on about it tonight.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Now, I did see that she's lost the job, and that, to be fair, Dave, and there's been a real backlash in Australia. Quite rightly, I did say, though, she needs help. She needs some professional guidance and help. And I hope, whatever we think of that girl, I hope that they actually give her the proper help afterwards, because this is one of the problems with these reality shows, and I'm calling all of them out. is there isn't enough. Once they basically finish, they just dispose of them, don't they, and let them go on the way. So there needs, I hope that she's got some sort of support from somebody, just giving her that guidance she needs, because she can't go through life doing that anyway. It's completely wrong. But if she is having such a big backlash, it's how she copes with it on a national level more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know what I've got positive to say about that, to be honest. I just think, what goes around comes around. I think,
does.
People don't, shouldn't take it too far. She needs to bloody, go to the shops and stuff without having abuse hurled or whatever. But I hope she has a good fucking long look at herself, because it didn't matter how many people tried to tell her, that holding grudges and stuff was a bad thing. It doesn't matter. She just didn't fucking listen. So, I don't ever think she'll change, to be honest, Chris, but maybe she can reflect on that and realize, what, maybe holding grudges and being an utter James Blunt is not a great way to live your life.
It is not, Dave. And those, my friend, are the perfect way to end this show, with some wisdom and knowledge from Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Well, sir, it has been a fucking ride, hasn't it?
Amazing.
I'll avoid the journey word. But yeah, sadly, it'll come to the end. But like I say, hopefully the UK one will be on later this year. We'll be back with Love is Blind. Is it episode 6 we're up to now?
Yeah, we are, Dave.
Yeah, that'll be the next one we cover. But it does seem a little bit of a come down. But there's not too many episodes of that one, is there? So I'm sure we'll get through that in the next few weeks.
No, and we've got episode 1 and 2 of Temptation Island for our patrons, haven't we, Dave, as well? We're going to get that one recorded pretty soon as well, guys. So there's more stuff coming, but this, I'm going to need to lie down because I'm going to be so gutted now this is finished. I'm coming from work tonight, we can't watch maths. I'm so upset because it's not on, and I can't wait another year. I hope they're doing a double whammy in Australia this year, Dave, and we get one later on, because it's been absolutely amazing.
We could go back and watch Series 7. That was before we probably jumped on it. I don't necessarily even mean to cover, but if you're looking for your maths fix.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's the thing. We'll just change it. We were the Love Island cast originally, won't we? Then we changed it to CD Reality. Maths, yeah, maybe the Maths cast, yeah. Amazing. Awesome. All right, mate.
Well, thank you very much, sir. And thanks to everyone out there for being along for the ride with us. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.